An application was made to the Skills and Partnership Fund to enhance employability of 50 youth and women, and ideally to help them get employment in the mining and environmental sector.
So the program runs for 12 months, and in those 12 months we start off with a 1-week field retreat. We provide training in ecological restoration, professional development, a field school component, and a 4-month paid internship. We're here to assist our participants overcome barriers. We provide personal protective equipment for all our students, a weekly living allowance, travel, childcare expenses. We help with driver's license and attaining your high school diploma or OSSD credits. This year we have Mary Fisher, who comes in and teaches our students the Ojibwe language. When they go out on the field and do like plant identification, they're able to identify the plants in the language.
I think the language is really important to this program because it deals with Mother Earth, and all the language, native language, pertains to living. It's a living language, and all the plants, animals, water, everything on this earth is alive.
It's all cultural based. So everything that we're learning has an Indigenous aspect to it.
You know, I think it's going to be a really great applied program for these guys. They'll have experience going to all of these sites, so if they ever want to go to these jobs or if they're working for our communities, so they can really communicate that to our people and really understand the impacts, right, that are there and how we can be involved in ensuring that our environment's being protected.
We cannot go out for a walk in the bush without like reciting what we've learned, and I found that was like the most exciting thing, knowing like the plant ID and their classes and stuff like that. Like I find that stuff really interesting, and like it's great to know those kinds of things.
In my youth, my parents used to bring me out to the bush, and we used to go out and do a lot of things. So like going back out to my First Nation and working within my community is kind of like what I'm aiming for now. It wasn't the goal that I initially had when I first walked into this program, but like now as I've been going through this program, this is kind of what I want to do.
This semester we're really focusing on those field techniques to manage our lands, but also how these come to meet in our communities. Getting them to understand that, you know, they're very important, they play very important roles in, you know, what their jobs are going to be in the future.
The game plan is to get the field techs or the techs in training out on the land. A brief introduction of, as far as I can understand, a brief introduction of the land.
So we're gonna go on a winter track survey. We're gonna take the off-road vehicles, and there's been a waypoint to Power Grounds. My GPS track.
First Nations people, for the most part, were the first techs out there, first guides within our land. It's always been there for me. I feel that at the back of my mind, I've always been a part of the land. Everybody says partridge. We don't have partridge around here. We have what's called ruffed grouse or spruce grouse. Okay, there's a difference. Partridges have little things that hang over. They're gray. So the goldenrod, in the spring and summer, a little housefly will land on these guys and lay an egg, and then that little egg that little goldenrod becomes the host, and that egg in there grows and grows and turns into a maggot inside there. That's a wolf. Very difficult to read it, but you can just tell by the placement of the tracks, the size of it. Sure, it's over time it went in.
So the 4-month paid internship is the last component of the training program. So all year round they're learning all the technical skills, you know, to be kind of environmental technicians. And then the internship gives them the opportunity to apply their skills and knowledge and go out there and share their experience with their communities.
So VAL is offering some summer internships in support of this program. So the intention there is to inspire further exploration of those careers, to pursue further education for a career in environmental engineering or environmental monitoring, those kinds of things.
Once that internship is done, we have other programs here at our office that can enable these participants to stay on with an employer. We have different on-the-job training with subsidy programs. You know, if they decide to go on to post-secondary education or go directly to work after this, to us that's a success.
So after our students complete the Indigenous Environmental Keepers program, they can move into the Environmental Technician program at Cambrian College. So they automatically get 2 credits.
To have this built in a way that relates to our people is really important, and that's what I'm hoping to get from by learning all this stuff, is that I can go now back to a Tikmikshing and say, hey, this is how we can do it.
I see a whole world opening up, and if they could bring the knowledge they got here from the people on the land, the First Nations culture, to other Western sciences, I believe everybody can benefit. Industry, government, First Nations.
I find more stewards of the land, especially in our Indigenous culture, that's definitely what's needed. It's a whole new experience, and I fell in love. I found my place.
LA is really proud to support this program through the offering of internships and by inviting the students to our operations and to get to know some of our environmental engineers a little bit better. They bring a knowledge of the land that can only really benefit all of us and benefit our operations and help us to rethink how we're doing some of our current processes and procedures in environmental monitoring.
I would encourage you all to join it. You know, it's such a growth experience. You know, you can see so much growth just in all of these participants now, right? And it's about exposing, having the opportunity to see what's happening on our lands and finding out what you're interested in, you know, and how you can support our communities. And it's fun, you know, you're outside doing fun stuff, and you have a sense of belonging and contribution because you are, working for the good of your people and for all of our future generation.
Women are the caregivers of the life, so we're not to start from that. We need to teach our children, it all starts in our next generations, and if we don't care for our land today, then who will?